Okay, I'll pose a question to y'all. Leslie Van Houten, one of the Manson family murderers, has been judged eligible for parole by the parole board. The victims' families, most notably Sharon Tate's sister Deborah Tate, who is now the head of the Tate family legacy, is spearheading a campaign to make sure that her Leslie Van Houten's parole is denied by the governor. And she's collecting all these signatures to make sure that Leslie does not get freed. Now, back in 1969, all of the Manson family that committed the murders of the Tate LaBianca murders and the other murders that they committed got the death penalty. But before the death penalty could be carried out, California overturned the death penalty and all of their sentences were commuted to life sentences. So eventually they got the right to go up to ask for parole every so often. And the families have always showed up there to testify to make sure that the killers stay in prison. Now, all of the killers, with the exception of Manson, have repented and have renounced their allegiance to Manson decades ago. And quite a few of them have been judged rehabilitated. They've had exemplary prison records. Some of the girls are now the oldest living people in prison because they went in when they were like 19. Leslie Van Houten was 19 years old when she committed the murder and was committed to death, which became life. She's been an exemplary prisoner, and now, after many parole hearings, she's been judged suitable for parole. There's so many options, angles to this case. Now, Leslie Van Houten did not go to the Tate house. She was not involved with the killings at the Tate house. She did go to the second night, however, to the LaBianca house. She did not kill Mr. LaBianca or contact him in any way. And I personally believe she did not kill Mrs. LaBianca because she'd already been stabbed to death by Charles Watson. But because Manson had told his followers that everyone was supposed to take part and get their hands dirty, Charles Watson, after he stabbed Mrs. LaBianca to death, put a knife into Leslie's hands and said, "Do something." So Leslie went over to Mrs. LaBianca's dead body, which was lying on the floor, and Tex had already stabbed her to death. And Leslie stabbed her, the dead body, because she had been ordered to take part and get her hands dirty. Now, is that worth the death penalty? A 19-year-old kid mixed up in drugs and cult brainwashing. Is that worth the death penalty? Stabbing a dead body. But that's what she got, along with the other killers. Is it worth life in prison? Because that's what she got when the sentence was overturned. Now, should she never be let out, even though she's been judged rehabilitated and has expressed remorse over and over again? Again, she was 19 years old. She was drug addicted. She was under the influence of Manson and the cult, and her individual participation was stabbing a dead body. Should she still be in prison for the rest of her life? What do you think? The victims' families say yes. They think it's justice, life for a life. They think that the true justice was when they got the death penalty. And now that their sentences have been changed to life, they should be resigned to serving that life sentence. I can see that. If it had been a member of my family, I might feel the same way. But then there is such a thing as compassion. There's such a thing as rational analysis of individual participation. Leslie Van Houten is guilty of stabbing a dead body. Should she have been given the death penalty? Should she serve a life sentence? I don't think so. I think Leslie Van Houten should be set free.